Center, and he lives his passion each and every day. So Ben, come on up. I'm eager for everyone to meet you. And he's going to tell a story about living his passion with Parker Shelley.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
My name is Benjamin C.A. Leslie, but my friends call me Ben, so feel free to call me Ben. I am 9 years old, and I am in the 4th grade. People ask me what school I attend. I tell them I'm homeschooled, so I don't get a break. I live with my teacher 24/7, so I don't get a break. The name of my school is Mighty Oak School. If I may, I would like to tell you how my family came up with this name. This is an acorn. If you plant it in the ground, nurture it, give it water, take care of it, and give it sun, it will grow into a big, mighty oak tree. This is what my family wants me to follow the example of. Not grow into a tree, of course, but to be healthy and strong and have a good education. And now this is a rotten acorn. Not even a squirrel will eat this. This is why I need all the education I can get so my brain won't turn out like this acorn. Rotten. They say that everyone has a story in their life. Even though my life hasn't turned out like my family thought it would, the Lord has blessed me in many ways. And now I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. Even though I don't remember this, I was born over here at Parker's Hospital. Dr. Kepler helped my mom bring me into this world. And Dr. Herbert and Dr. Arias has helped me along the way. They're my pediatricians. And right before I turned 5, my mom was helping me put on my shoe. And I screamed, "Mom, you hurt me." There was a bad pain in my right ankle. And it was about the size of a dime. And just to touch it, it would hurt. And so he took me to my pediatrician, which sent me to another doctor, which sent me to another doctor in Charlotte. And then the doctor in Charlotte diagnosed me with arthritis. And it got to the point where I couldn't walk. And I had to go into a wheelchair for almost 2 years. And I hate to say it, but I gained a lot of weight. And also, it really hurt. And then a family friend of ours came down from Virginia to see his family. And his name is Dr. Paul Cannon. He is a podiatrist. So he asked his family if he could see me. And so he looked at my leg, and it showed a cyst. And he did an MRI. And so they did surgery and removed the cyst, and then they tested it, and then it came out to be synovial sarcoma cancer. And in Luke chapter 12, verses 6 through 7, it talks about how the Lord is mindful of the sparrows and he knows all the hairs on your head. So I knew he was watching over me. An example. Right before I had the cyst removed out of my right ankle, I had an appendix attack. Can you believe it? So they had to do surgery and remove the appendix. The Lord was blessing me because what if my appendix had ruptured when I was on the operating table, when I was getting my cyst removed? I may have died. And after this happened, I had to go through chemo and all that comes with it. And I got very sick. I didn't feel like eating, and I lost all my hair. and also I remember it was very painful. And I remember seeing little children that was younger than me and babies going through what I was going through. But at the time, I didn't know that. So I asked my grandma, are they going through the same thing I am? She said yes. This made me very sad. And I said that little kids shouldn't go through what I am going through. My family wondered why this had happened to me. And I told my family that when I figure it out, I will tell them. And so I finally figured it out. God allowed me to have this cancer for me to help other children and people that need to be uplifted. To tell them that if I can do it, they can do it. And so we ended up going to a sarcoma unit in Duke Hospital. And they said that amputation would be the best way to get all the cancer out of my leg. This made me very sad, but I wanted to play with my cousins again before I had my leg amputated. So in Matthew chapter 21, verses 22, it talks about if you pray for something in faith, you will receive what you're praying for. I had to do this. When we were traveling to Hickory to play with my cousins, guess what happened? It was raining. Can you believe it? So I told my family that I would pray for the rain to stop. And my daddy said, don't be discouraged if the rain doesn't stop. I told him it will stop because I will pray in faith. And I prayed in faith, and guess what happened? The rain did stop. And we had a fun time on the playground with my cousins. And this particular park, I had this huge slide on a mountain. And anyone could slide down it, even my family went down it. And also the sand wasn't wet, the swings wasn't wet, and the slide wasn't wet. And the following week, I wanted to go back down and play with my cousins. And so, guess what happened? It was raining again. I couldn't believe it. So I told my family I will pray again for the rain to stop. And my daddy said, don't be discouraged if the rain doesn't stop this time. Because someone in Hickory might be needing this rain. I told him it will stop because I will pray. And so I prayed, and guess what happened? The rain did stop. And I had a fun time with my cousins at the playground. We could have played in their house, but the playground had more room and it was also more fun. So I got thinking, if Heavenly Father let the rain stop for me, He might take the cancer out of my leg and let me keep my foot. But I got thinking the people might need me to uplift their spirits. So I just prayed that the Lord's will be done. And so we went to Duke and I had the amputation. And yes, it did hurt very bad. And I also couldn't stand to look at it. And so I had to go into a wheelchair again. And yes, little kids were staring and asking me questions. It did bother me, but it don't bother me now. So I couldn't wait to get my prosthetic. On my first prosthetic, I got minions on it, you know, from the Despicable Me movie. And when that one wore out, I got my second prosthetic. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's one of my favorite singers, Elvis Presley. Yes, Elvis is my favorite singer, and before anything happened about my ankle, there's this one song that I love to hear of Elvis. It's a gospel song, and it's "You'll Never Walk Alone." And now I would like to read you some of the lyrics. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky, and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. And no, you will never walk alone. And when I feel down, it always makes me happy to make someone else feel better. Mostly everywhere I go, I see someone that needs to be uplifted. And every person I see with an amputation, I always go up to them and I say, I see we have something in common. And we both share stories, and we separate feeling much better. And I also like to stay busy. In addition to being homeschooled, I'm a Cub Scout, and I like swimming. My dad says I swim like a fish, and I was taught by Miss Karen that works here. And also, I play the piano while I'm learning to. And I already had 2 piano recitals. And I like dancing to the music of the 50s. And I also like working out. And I love telling my story. Now, I'm so happy to be here telling you all my story. And they say that idle hands is the devil's workshop. I guess I'll be okay. And also, they also say that when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. I like that, but I came up with one that I like even better. When life hands you trials and trouble, don't just pray harder. People ask me what is the difference between praying and praying harder. I tell them it's when you want something so badly that you just don't ask for it, you beg till you get it. And before I go, I would like to ask a favor of you. This coming Thursday, I'm going down to Duke Hospital to make sure the cancer hasn't returned. And please pray for me that the cancer won't return and that it will never return. And please pray for my family's safety going to Duke and back from Duke. And please constantly pray and for the little children that is going through cancer and having any kind of amputation. And I would like to end this in the words of Elvis Presley. Thank you very much.